A young child recognizes her mother's voice, repeats her words. A moment that doctors call a miracle.
It's unbelievable, incredible, beyond description.
Toddlers turn their heads towards sound, in stark contrast to how the patients in these videos entered the world, to complete silence. All of them were born deaf, but they were also born in a time when doctors in a lab in Boston experienced an incredible breakthrough.
This is the first time in history we will have a treatment.
Not since the cochlear implant, first used 60 years ago, has there been a single treatment to restore hearing loss, until now.
We've been working, with a group in China, so of course we always so nervous, want to know what's going on. But when the first result came out, we all in tears. My eyes watering, so I still have the same sensation as even now.
Dr. Zhenyi Chen, Associate Professor of Medicine at Mass Eye and Ear, has been studying genetic hearing loss for more than 3 decades. In December of 2022, his team partnered with doctors in China, including his former postdoc, to administer the first test of a new treatment in children suffering from hereditary hearing loss. In these patients, their deafness was caused by mutations of the OTOF gene, which causes a failure to produce a functioning protein necessary for the transmission of sound signals from the ear to the brain.
Patients are born with deafness without this gene.
The solution: insert a harmless virus into the ear that carries the missing gene, restoring its function. This is the baseline of one of the patients before the procedure. Zero recognition of their father's voice. Incredibly, just 6 weeks later, these moments come with the recognition that the future will now be very different.
The children can experience everything, all the sensations the world has to offer. They can hear the mother's sound, the grandparents' voice.
And for the millions who long to hear the world around them, the voices of their loved ones, hope. This may look like a slab of butter, unsophisticated at first glance, but this tiny square packs some serious power.
This is actually called a hemostat. Hemostat is like a special type of sponge or bandage that can be used to quickly stop bleeding.
The porous material developed at Brigham and Women's Hospital is derived from shellfish. It optimizes absorption and is capable of stopping bleeding within minutes.
When it comes to severe bleeding, it was about 2/3 of the time compared to the conventional method.
The sponge-like material works by both absorbing the blood and accelerating the body's own clotting process.
We first recognize that there is a large unmet need for our patients who experience uncontrolled bleeding while they are on blood thinners or anticoagulants like aspirin.
For the millions of Americans who take blood thinners to treat serious conditions such as heart attacks and strokes, uncontrollable bleeding can be a life-threatening side effect.
Even with a high dose of heparin, anticoagulant taking patient, it can stop the bleeding within 10 minutes.
Wow. 10 minutes is life-saving.
Yeah, right.
It's all great. And back to Mass Eye and Ear. Since we first aired that therapy, they've now treated 11 children, restoring hearing to 10.
It's incredible. And doctors in China now are working with additional patients. They're really focused now on a long-term study to see if this gene therapy is permanent in restoring hearing loss, and they're looking to apply it to other forms of hearing loss as well. It is unbelievable, as you said, when you see these children turn around.
Up next, a pioneering physician from Boston.